Guys, you're welcome to the channel, and in this video we'll be drafting a basic trouser pattern. Okay, so now let's go straight into the tutorial. Now what you are going to do is the measurement needed for this is your waist measurement. Okay, your waist measurement, your hip measurement, your crotch length. Okay, your crotch length, your waist to knee, measurement, your waist to ankle. Okay, waist to ankle measurement. Then you need your knee, your round knee measurement, your round knee. You also need your waist to hip measurement. So those are the basic measurements that you'll be needing for a basic trouser pattern. Okay, so now first thing first, what I did is this: I drew a margin line from here to here, 3 inches. You get to know as time goes in the course of the drafting why I left this margin line 3 inches at the top side, and I left a margin line of 4 inches at the by the side. Now I took the length of my trouser all the way down. Okay, I took the length of my trouser all the way down. So that is the first step that you should take when you are drafting a basic trouser pattern. What we are going to do now is we want to work on the upper part of our trouser. Okay, so now what we are going to do is to measure out our vertical measurement. Okay, so I'll be measuring out my waist. This is the waistline. Okay, so I'm measuring out my waist to hip. My waist to hip is 7 inches, so I'll measure it round to get a straight line. Okay, my waist to hip is 7 inches. Okay, so that is the second step that you should take, your waist to hip. Then I'm going to be connecting it like so. Now from the waist to hip, now how we will now get from the waist to hip, we need our crotch length measurement. Okay, there are two. First step is to divide your hip by 4. So the answer you get is your crotch length measurement. Or if you don't want to do that, you can ask your client, or you can sit down on a flat surface and measure out. That is from your waist. That is where you want your trouser waist to start from your waist to the surface of the seat. That is another method that you can use to get the crotch length. Okay, so the crotch length I'm working with here, that is my hip divided by 4, is 9.25 inches. So I'm marking out my 9.25 inches here. Okay, so I'll mark it out 9.25. Then I'm going to be connecting it. Okay, so this is the upper part. This is my hip line. Okay, this is my hip line, and this is the crotch length. So now what we are going to do next is this: the same crotch from here to here is the crotch length. So you are going to be measuring our hip. We want to take the hip circumference round. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now is this: I measured 9.25 here as my crotch length. So you're going to take your hip divided by 4. Okay, my hip divided by 4 is 9.25. So I'll also take 9.25 here as well. Okay, so I'm going to be marking it. So I'm marking it like so. So now the whole of this place now is our hip divided by 4. Okay, I hope you are getting it. Now the next step that you should take is for your crotch extension. So guys, for to get your crotch extension for the front, okay, your crotch extension for the front is your hip divided by 20. Okay, so my hip divided by 20 is 1.85. So the 1.85, I'll approximate it to 2 inches. So the crotch extension is going to be on your crotch length line, that is on this line here. So I'm going to be putting 2 inches from where this hip line stop, that is from this point that you see me cycling. So I'm going to be putting 2 inches there. Okay, so I hope you get that. I did my crotch, my hip divided by 20, that is the for the front crotch extension, I got 1.85, so approximately 2. So I imputed my 2 inches here. So what you're going to do is this: at the hip line, you're going to be coming out by 0.25 inches. Okay, you're going to be coming out by 0.25 inches. Now, once you do that, you're going to be taking your core, okay, and you connect it like so. I'm trying to get a better curve for it. Okay, this part is very, very important when you are drafting your trouser. The upper part is very, very important when you are drafting your trouser. So I've gotten the crush extension here, so it should go this way and touch at the 0.25 that you came out by at your hip line. Okay, then just take it off. So now we are done with this crush extension part. So the next part that we are going to do now is to measure out our waist measurement. Okay, so the waist measurement I'm working with here is waist of 29. Okay, so 29 divided by 4, that is, I'm having 7.25. Okay, 7.25. So I'll be adding that to this. There'll be that on this pattern. Okay, so the that of 1 inch, so it will one and a that of 1 inch, that is 1 plus 7.25 will give us 8.25. So I'll be imputing my 8.25 here. Okay, I hope you get that. So now, after inputting your 8.25 here, you're going to come out here by half inch. This will make your trouser to relax well on your waistline. So you go up by half inch. So now let me connect it so that you actually see. Now I'm going to be connecting this part here to the hip line here, but make sure that you don't have any sharp points. Okay, I'm going to be connecting it to this part here. Okay, so now once you're done connecting it, this half inch that you came up by, you're going to be connecting it to this line here. Okay, so our up trouser pattern is getting. So guys, for the dart, what you're going to do is this: you're going to take it this way. Okay, that is from this point to this point, and you're going to be dividing it into two. Okay, then you mark. Now the length of our dart for the front can be 4 inches to 4.5 inches. Okay, so I'm making use of 4.5 inches for the length of our dart here. So what you're going to do is to connect it like so. Okay, make sure it's a straight line here. Connect it like so. Then you are going to be taking half inch here, because we added half inch for our dart. Half inch here, half inch here. Then you are going to be connecting it like so. Okay, you're going to be connecting it like so. Okay, so our upper part is almost ready, guys. Now let's work on the down part. Now for the down part, we want to get our crease line. Okay, there's what is known as a crease line. That is what the center line at the front of your trouser. Okay, that is what the crease line is. Some people call it gator. Okay, so now you're going to be taking your tape to where this your crotch extension ends, to the margin line here. So what you have here, you're going to be dividing it by 2. Okay, you're going to be dividing it by 2. Once that is done, you mark it down. So you measure what you have at this point here. I have 5.75, so I'll be taking that 5.75 all the way down. Okay, so let me do that now so that you see. I'll take that 5.75. Okay, 5.75 here, and also 5.75 here. Then I'm going to be marking, just like you are centralizing your trouser already. Okay, you want to centralize your trouser. Okay, that is what this crease line is all about. So mark it this way, mark it this way. Okay, so we've gotten our crease line. Here's our crease. So guys, to get your knee line measurement, okay, there are two methods that you can use to get your knee line measurement. The first one is this: at this crotch length area here, you're going to be taking your tape from here to your ankle length. Okay, so after you are done with that, you're going to be dividing your tape into 2 this way, then you are going to go up by 1.5 inches. That is how to get your knee length. You don't have that is how to get your knee length in case you don't have your knee length measured down. I have my knee length. I am going to be marking my knee length as 21 inches. Okay, so I'm going to be putting my 21 inches here. Then I'm going to be marking it all the way. So 21 inches. So I'll mark it now and show you guys how it looks like. So here's my 21 inches. Okay, here is my 21 inches. So we're almost done with the front pattern, guys. Now this is our knee length. Okay, this is our knee length. Now the next thing that we are going to do is this. You're going to be your knee, my knee circumference is 16 inches. So the 16 inches divided by 2, okay, is 8. But remember this crease line is also divided into our trouser part here is also divided into 2, okay. So you're going to you're going to be dividing that 8 inches into 2. That is, you're going to be sharing it equal on both sides of your crease line, okay. So now that 8 now, so I'm going to put the 8 directly. I'm going to be sharing the 8 into 2. So here I'm going to be taking 4 inches here, and I'll also take 4 inches here. I hope you understand that. So now when you measure everything here, now you're going to be having 8 inches, okay. So remember, this trouser is going to be a basic trouser pattern, okay. That is the same measurement circumference that you have at the knee length. Is going to be the same circumference that you're going to have at the ankle length. So I'm going to be taking the same 8 inches here to this part here. But in case you want a pencil trouser, you can impute your ankle measurements here, okay. So I'm going to be imputing like 8 inches here. That is 4 inches all the way. Okay, so now once you are done with this, I'm going to be connecting it now, and you see how our trouser pattern for the front looks like. So guys, I hope if you're enjoying this class, please feel free to drop your comments, and also subscribe. For this part, I'm going to be using this curve like so. That is to give the trouser a perfect fit. So I'm going to be using this curve like so and connect it. Okay, I'm using this curve and connect. Okay, so you're going to be blending in all sharp points. Okay, you're going to be blending in all sharp points. So our trouser pattern is ready, guys. Our trouser pattern is ready. Okay, so I'm blending in all sharp points. So our front trouser pattern is ready. So now we want to concentrate on the back. So majorly the back part is, we are working more on the upper part of this trouser here, of this pattern here. So now there are some little alterations that you are going to do to this pattern. Now for the back, okay, at this point here, okay, at the crotch length area here, now from hip 38 and above, you go in by 1 inch, but below 38 you go out, okay, is it you are coming this side, okay, you are coming out here by 0.75 inch, okay. This to give the back part a perfect fit, okay. So now from the client I'm working with is hip of 37, so I'm going in here by 0.75 inch and 0.75 inch. That is, you are coming in from this your hip line here, okay, by 0.75 inch, okay. Now at this part here, at this part here, you are going to be at this waistline here, you are going to be there. I'm going to be coming in by 2 inches, okay. If it's for a slim person, you can come in here by 2.5 inches. Now the upper part here, this upper part here, for an average person, you go up by 1.5, okay, you go up by 1.5. I'm hip 37, I'm not of the big size, so I'm going up by 1.5. But if it's of the big size, people with big bum can go up by 2 inches. I hope you understand this. So now what we are going to do now is to connect it. So I'll be connecting this 0.75 inch to this 2 inches to the 2 inches, and also to the 1.5 inch here, okay. Remember, our back now will be starting from here, so I'll just take it up 1.5 inches. So I'll be connecting the lines like so. Okay, so I'll be connecting the lines like so. Make sure that each part touches one another. Okay, so this is it, guys. This is it. Now, I hope you are getting what I'm doing. I hope you are seeing it. So now, after you have gotten this part, what you are going to do next is to impute your waist measurement. Okay. So the waist measurements I'm working with here is 7.25. That is my waist divided by 4 is 7.25. Okay. So that 7.25 here, I'm going to be adding 1 inch for that. So the 1 inch for that will give us 8.25. So I'm going to be imputing that, keeping your tape this way. You're not keeping it straight, okay? You know it has to come down to meet this line. So you're keeping your tape this way. So I'm going to be measuring out 8.25, okay? So that 8.25, remember here at the front waistline, you went up by half inch, okay? So you're still going to do the same thing here. You're going to be going up by half inch. Then we connect it like so, okay? Like we're connecting from this point here to this point here. Sorry, I'm making use of the same marker pen. I would have made understanding what I'm doing. So now we've gotten the waistline, okay? So now what we are going to do next is to we'll leave this part for now and get our crotch extension for the back. Excuse me. Now how do we get our crotch extension for the back? Now to get your crotch extension for the back, you're going to be dividing your hip by 10 inches, okay? That is your hip divided by 10. If your hip is 37, 40, that is 37 divided by 10. The answer you get would be for your crotch extension for the back. So now my 37 divided by 10, it gives me 3.7 inches. So I'm going to be imputing my 3.7 inches from this new line that we drew here, okay? From this new line. So I'll be imputing my 3.7 inches here, okay? 3.7 inches here. Then I'll mark it. So this is my 3.7 inch. This is the crotch extension for the back. Remember, I measured the crotch extension from this new line that we took for the back, not from here again, but from this new line. This is our back. This is our back measurement. Okay. So now the same thing we came, we at the hip line here for to connect our crotch line. At the hip line here, we came out by 0.25. So I'm also going to do the same thing here. I'm going to be coming out by 0.25 for the back. Okay, I hope you get that. So now once you are done now, we're going to be connecting the line. We are done. This is our crotch extension for the back. Okay, so we are going to be connecting. I came out here by 0.25. So I'm going to be connecting from this crotch extension to the 0.25 like so. Then watch, I hope you see what I'm doing. I'm connecting from this point to this 0.25 here. Okay, connecting to that point. Okay, so now once you are done connecting to that point, you will now take your curve and just um connect it like so. Okay, so our back crush is ready. Okay, so this is the back crush and this is the front crush. Okay, so now what we are going to do again is the next thing that we are going to do is to impute our hip measurement. So the hip measurement, you are going to be starting from this new line here. Okay, at your crush length, you're going to be taking your hip measurement from this crush length part here. That is this new line that we have at the crush length here. So remember, this is our back. Here is our back. So you're going to be taking your hip measurements here. So the hip I'm working with is 9.25. That's after dividing it by 4, 9.25. So I'm going to be imputing my 9.25 here. Okay, so now after imputing my 9.25, I hope you are seeing what I'm doing. After imputing my 9.25, I will measure what I have here. Okay, I have 3.025 inches. So I'm going to be imputing that on the hip line. Okay, I'm going to be imputing that on the hip line. Then I'm going to be connecting from here to this part here. I hope you are getting what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to be connecting from this part here. Now, why now I measure what I have here to input on this line. Why I did it is to have an accurate figure, okay, between the cross length and also the hip length. So that was I had to measure what I have at this point. Okay, that is, I want it to be equal. So what I'm going to do now is also to connect it like so. Okay, connect it like so. Okay, so now once I'm done connecting it, connecting it now, what we are going to do again next is to impute our darts at the waistline for our back. Now how do we go about that? The same thing we did for the front. That is the same thing we are going to do for the back. You're going to take your tape measure on the waistline at the back, then you're going to be dividing it by 2. Okay, dividing it by 2. Guys, I've already divided it that. So what you're going to do next is to just create a slant line a little bit. So the back that is not supposed to be straight, just for you to create a slant line. So the back that leg is to be 5 inches. Okay, so I'll just take my 5 inches here. Okay, it's going to be 5 inches, so I'll just connect it like so. So I just connect it like so. Okay, so now after the connection, you're going to be opening up the darts by half inch. Remember, we added 1 inch for our darts, so you're going to be connecting it like so. You're going to be connecting it like so and like so. So guys, like I said, I hope you guys understand this, because I use the same marker pen for marker pen. If you're drafting yours, please guys, make use of two marker pens, so that you not get confused along the line. Okay, but as it is now, I already know where my back line is, and also where my front line is. So but for you guys, please make use of different marker pens, so you can easily differentiate between the front and the back. So now we are almost ready with our pattern. So the next thing that you are going to do is just to add half inch around your pattern, half inch around your pattern. So I'll be adding half inch here. Okay, so I'll be adding half inch here, and also add half inch here. Okay, then I'll do the same thing for the hem, for the ankle part. I'll add half inch here. Okay, and also add half inch here. So we are going to be connecting it all the way. Okay, so I'll be connecting it. Remember, you added half inch all around, half inch here. Okay, and I'm going to be connecting it like so, half inch here. Then after that, you'll be connecting this part to this part and this part to this part. Okay, so guys, I'll just be connecting the lines like so. Okay, just connecting the lines like so. Make sure you don't have any sharp points. Then at this point here, I'll just come in with my curl. Okay, I'll just come in with my curl, and you can see the way I'm placing it. I'll just come in with my curl and place it like so. Okay, place it like so. So guys, our pattern is ready. Okay, so this line here is for the front. Okay, while the outer part here is for the back, but for the upper part, this line here is the back part. This is our dart. Okay, so now before we go further, I want us to blend the hip line. Okay, we don't want any sharp point, so I want us to blend the hip line. Okay, just to blend the hip line. So we've already blended this part. Now the last thing, okay, the last thing that we are going to do is to shaping our front. Okay, and we're going to do that before we move over to the back, is to shaping our front. Remember, this is our front, this is our front line. Okay, this is the front line. So now, how do we shape in the front, and why do we have to shape the front? Now the main reason why you need to shape the front is to make the waistline relaxed on your body. Okay, and it will help to prevent all those smile lines at the waistline of your trouser. Okay, so now you can come down here by 1 inch, you can come down here by 0.5 or 0.75 inch here, but I'm coming down here by 0.5. That is at my waistline here. I'm coming down here by 0.5. So this is the dart for my waistline. Okay, here is the dart for my waistline. That's for my front waistline. Remember, we are shaping the front waistline, so I'm going to be closing the dart this way. You see me do just the way I'm doing in the video. So I'm going to be closing the dart this way, then I'll connect it like so. Okay, I'm going to be connecting it like so. Okay, so here is just like you are taking out this dart. Okay, it doesn't affect anything. Instead, it to make the front relax so well on your waist. So we open it up. So guys, we have come to the end of our trouser pattern. Okay, so this is a basic trouser pattern. With this trouser pattern, if well drafted, you can alter it to any trouser variations of your choice. Okay, this one is pattern drafting, it's not freehand. Guys, our trouser pattern, I'll be tracing the front and the back out. Okay, so now whenever you are tracing, one trick I've discovered is this: whenever you are tracing your pattern, okay, make sure that you have under, so that it will trace it out for you very well. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm placing my pattern. So you're going to take another fresh paper here, and you are placing your the already drafted block on your pattern paper. So I'm going to be tracing the front out now and show you guys how it looks like. Now, in case you don't have a tracing wheel, now what I'm using to trace out this is A nail cutter. It's a nail cutter. So this is what I'm using to trace out. So you can improvise. You must not have a tracing before you start tracing out your pattern. Okay. So I'm using a nail cutter. So now let's go straight. So what I'm going to do now to stabilize the paper from moving, because once it moves, you might end up not having the correct lines. So I'm gonna be taping it down. Okay. So I'm going to be taping it down to ensure that it doesn't shift. Okay, so I'll just tape it down this way. Then I will trace out my front. Okay, I'm going to be tracing out my front pattern. So watch me as I'm doing it now. So I'll be tracing, this is the front part. So I'll be tracing out the front this way. Okay, then I'll just trace this side out. You are tracing out everything on the front. Okay, I'll trace it out and show you guys how this looks. Then this is the dart. This is my dart line here. Okay, so I'll just, this is the front line, so I'm just gonna trace it like this. So guys, I'm done tracing the front, so I'm tracing the back pattern. Okay, so I'm following the outer line for the back pattern. Okay, that is at the side seams. The outer line is for the back pattern, and I'm making sure that I'm tracing out all the vertical measurement, the crease line, the knee line. Okay, so make sure that you do the same thing, so that after you are done tracing out your pattern, you will have an accurate working pattern. Okay, now you can see the cross line for the back. You can see the way I'm taking. So the cross line for the back is the second line after the front cross line. Okay, so I went ahead to trace out my dart leg. Okay, so you make sure that your pattern, when placing your pattern, when tracing out your pattern, it should be on a straight line, not slanted. Okay, so guys, I'm done tracing out the front and the back pattern. So guys, and again, I dropped a video tutorial on how to take measurement for your trouser. Okay, so if you have issues getting your crotch length measurement or any measurements when making trouser whatsoever, head over to the channel. The video is right there. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this class. If you enjoyed this class, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and also drop your comments if you have any question. Right, so I'll be uploading the sewing tutorial of this class. So I'll be seeing you guys in my next